Welcome everybody to Microfinance Skill and Career Enhancement Program, organized by Leon Consulting. This is a specialized online webinar designed to equip you, me, and everybody here present with industry relevant skills that will give you career insights to succeed, most especially in your choosing field of study or field of career. This program is all just to focus on how to bridge the gap, the theory behind the real world and the practical world. And what it means to achieve is also to expose you to core microfinance operations, ethical lending practice, principle, client relationship management, regulatory awareness, networking, sustainable financial practices tailored specifically for you. You might be a beginner in the microfinance industry, either you work in a bank or microfinance institution, or you want to transition into another career out of the microfinance industry or into it. These are the things that we'll be discussing in this episode and other episodes that will be coming. So this session will be led by two expert leaders. We have Dayo Adewale, we have Amin Ajibola. Amin Ajibola is a microfinance professional that is operates here in Nigeria and in the US as well. Dayo Adewale is also somebody that, if you are in the industry, you have known to very, very vast with microfinance. So what we did was to bring in microfinance professionals that have been in the industry for years, that can guide you, that can mentor you. And part of what we'll be creating today is a mentorship forum where you don't need to look for who is going to help you to get one or two information, or who's going to put you through some things you need to know. I'm going to give you a snippet of my story. I worked in the microfinance industry, and by all means necessary, I wanted to leave that industry because I felt the degrading that we used to get as microfinance professional was just too much, most especially from commercial bankers. Commercial bankers are always proud to tell you, we are not on the same grade, we are not on the same level, and that's the truth. And I, on my own, realized early enough that it's not the dog in the fight, it's the fight in the dog. So I told myself, but between the next 3 years, the first 1-2 years, I said I must work in a microfinance, I must work in a commercial bank. So I did all my possible best to make sure I transitioned. Wasn't working out. Then I took a decision. I said, if I'm going to work in a microfinance industry for 3 years and it's clocking 3 years plus, then I'm going to make a difference. I'm going to be a microfinance professional with a difference. I go out as a marketer. I started my career from the ranks, from the very ranks. I started as a loan officer. I go out. I even wear my suit with my tie because I wanted to make a difference. I hold my POS in one hand and hold my folder in one hand because my folder contains record of my customers, maybe inflows, outflow. All my recordings are just there. And I was proud of it. Even with that son, I was wearing a suit and a tie. Are you with me? So I felt I need to admit this person, but he keeps coming in and going out. I think it's network issues. So I said to myself, if I spend 3 years in the microfinance industry and above, I want to do something different. As soon as I realized that I couldn't get much desired interest in where I wanted to be placed or the job I wanted, I started doing something. I started making survey. I started, go all full professional. I wanted to know everything about microfinance. I studied books. I read articles. I visited websites. I took my MCP exam. I took my CEM, Certified Expert in Microfinance, from Frankfurt, Germany. I did my MCP here. I was writing my CIBN. At the same time, I was doing a course in UK. Are you with me? So I was just all out doing all these things to make sure that I become a microfinance professional. And this is one of the biggest problems we've had. We limit our brain. It's called a spike effect. I know some of you must have watched that video where you drew an ant, where you drew a circle around an ant. As soon as the circle is drawn, the ant is placed that circle. The ant doesn't want to go out because he believes he's been caged. And it is until he mistakenly steps his toes outside of that circle, that's when he saw that he could actually move. A lot of us are like that. We always believe that we can't go beyond what we are currently doing. We are still going to stick to time. We are starting now. Latest by 12, we should be out of here. It's not about the long hours you spend, it's about what you are able to grasp. Okay? So if you eventually step out of the zone that you have been caged in, you will see that you could do more. I could boast of so many things I do. The list of them, I can count. I've written 5 books. One of my very good customers is here. Oluwatobi. Anytime, he's always asking me, Mr. Henry, which of your books is out now? I want to get it. Part of the books I've written is The Functional Microfinance Bank. The second one I wrote is Basic Financial Analysis, Ratios and Portfolio Monitoring in Microfinance Bank. They use them to write CIBN exams as we speak. Up till date, I sit down here, every quarter I get money from CIBN bookshop. I don't, it's already, it's the agreement is there. Every time they ask me, Mr. Henry, this book, now that they are writing the exam, they've just sent me money for the last quarter. March, ending of March, I'm expecting money. Are you with me? And this is because I was able to do something.
Yes, we are with you.
It is, you can, I'm telling you because you can start now. And what I did again was, I tried to know how many people have written microfinance books in Nigeria. And I was able to get Mr. Kashmir Eugene's book. He's in Abuja. He wrote a microfinance book. And I saw that the book does not really focus on practical microfinance. It's a good book. I read Mr. Godwin Higam's book, the founder of LAPO. He wrote a book in microfinance. And I saw that, oh, there could be addition. So what I did was, I wrote my very first book. It took me 3 years to finish that book because I wanted to make it a practical book for microfinancing. After that, I wrote the microfinance, the lending business manual. If you want to start your microfinance bank or microfinance institution or cooperative, it will guide you on where to go. Yes, I made it a 2.0 manual grade because there will be upgrade, CBN, state ministerials, state administrators, or anybody managing microfinance NDIC will bring in new changes. Okay, so there will be upgrade. We also have a book called Microfinancing, Financial Inclusion and Digitization because of the latest trends that are out there. Now, what am I doing? As we have changes in trends, we are also having changes in our resources. Okay, you can't be static. You can't be doing the same thing all over again and you're saying that you have a different results. Don't think you are just a common microfinance officer. You are not. You are way more than that. Okay? You need to learn to be a professional in your choosing field, in your career. By the end of today, I'm going to be dropping a link, just like Pafora said. I'll drop Leon link. That Leon link, join. I'll also be dropping a link where I can create it before. I'll create it before we finish now. A link where we post our job opportunities. That's another thing. I do a lot of recruitments as it is now. It's always good to have a network you can just throw this thing out to instead of trying to look for people outside and people calling me every night. Somebody still called me this morning, said, please, how for that job? How many do I want to remember? I don't know if you understand me. How many do I want to start chatting and say this job is available? But if there's a network, you can also do that. I also have a YouTube channel in microfinance and you will see that at the end of the day. I'll just show it, I'll present it to you. There I throw out a lot of videos. I don't have time to promote those videos, but I can tell you on a regular day, 2 people join, 3 people join, 4 people join, and the numbers are counting. My interest is not to make money, which is not the very first thing. My vision is to impact knowledge. When you have something to share, money will come in. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. I'm not telling you money is not good. I earn from my video resources, I earn from my lecturing resources, I earn from recruitment resources, I earn from my books, I earn from consulting. Let me know somebody's following me.
I'm from here, sir. There's no
Mr.
question. Everything is clear, sir.
I'm following you.
Follow you, sir.
I'm going to leave Dio to do that honor. Dio is a very wonderful person. I'm not going to introduce Dio to you. I've worked with Dio over the years, not today. Dio is not just a microfinance professional. Dio is an expert in the field. If you wake Dio up and say, what is? As long as micro is there, he will finish everything that is there. I'm just going to give Dio the room. I can't introduce Dio enough. Okay? I told Dio to send me her profile. She refused. So I'm going to let Mrs. Dayo Adewale to do the honors before she starts her lecture.
But I'll get it. Hi, everyone. My name is Dayo Adewale. I am, he refused to, I'm glad that he refused to say more about me. I'm glad about that. It's deliberate. But no worries. So I've had about 15 years, over 15 years experience in microfinance. And just like he said, it's a passion for me. I've seen microfinance beyond just a job or anything. It's for me a passion, and that's why um, you can see that it seems she has given all herself to it. Can you see my screen? All right, I'm glad that you can all see my screen. So it was looking for my picture. That's my picture there. So career advancement, strategic development, and leadership growth. Like I was saying that I've had over 15 years experience in microfinance, and I've actually gone through a lot of microfinance banks, ranging from AB Microfinance to Letshego Microfinance, Defunct First Bank Microfinance, not really defunct, it was acquired by the Letshego Microfinance Bank. Then we started FA Microfinance together. I became MD CEO of Lifegate Microfinance. I worked briefly as Asset Microfinance. Then I did consulting jobs for some microfinance banks, including Fame Microfinance and the Women Microfinance I just started. That's Maiden Microfinance. So my career started from being a loan officer, a trainee loan officer. And that's how I grew up to the where I could be an MD and now into consulting. So I'll just share a few things. Don't worry, I won't waste your time. All right, so this is what we're going to talk about, but let's just go into it. The first thing, now, a microfinance is not just an institution, but a tool of economic advancement. Therefore, when we are talking about career growth, it's not about promotion, how they promote me to MD. No, it's about how I can increase the capacity I have to make impact. So the microfinance is not just a job. No, it's an impact. You have to be able to take joy in the impact you are making in the society. When you see a business grow because you were able to give channel access to the person to get money, let that be a reward for you. If you can't get to that position, then there's no point. It's not just about promotion or money. It's about your capacity to create impact. You are increasing your capacity to make impact. So I want to deal with mindset first in career advancement so that you know that in microfinance it's not just about, oh, they're increasing in salary, increasing in promotion. No. Okay? Now, your pathway in microfinance starts from loan officer. I started from trainee loan officer, then junior loan officer, then loan officer, then senior loan officer. From senior loan officer, and I became a branch manager. From a branch manager, I became head of commercial head. From there, I became head of SME. From head of SME, I became an MD before I now go into consulting. Now I'm into payment. I left microfinance and went into fintech, and now I'm into payments. I now work at Remita. So that's how my journey goes. So when I'm telling you that you can actually grow from the scratch, I am a perfect example. I grew from a trainee loan officer at AB Microfinance Bank, and that's just 2009 here. And this is where I am. I grew on the field at this boss. So anybody that starts from senior credit analyst doesn't have anything to give you. Let someone who actually was on the field disbursing and managing power tell you things. So you grow from, you start your journey from loan officer, sometimes credit analyst or client relation. It depends on what your company calls it, but basically you are dealing with customer. Now, what are the things you should focus on? For now, you are doing technical training, which means you're learning how to look at somebody and know that this business will have problem or something, how to mentor your client. Some of them don't even know how to fill form. How do you mentor them? Some of them have fantastic business idea. At that moment, you are no longer their loan officer, you are now their business advisor. You have to learn how to be able to interact with people. You need everybody. You need the credit team. You need the operations team. You must be able to interact with anybody. And beyond everything, you must have product knowledge mastery. If you don't know what you are selling, you don't know the impact of what you are selling is making, you will have challenges on the field. So you need to know what you are selling. Okay. Now, the middle level part of it is where you become like a senior credit analyst or become head of your department or group leader, regional, all those branch manager and all that. Here you need leadership training. Don't just assume, which is where some people made mistake in the past. Because I dispose a lot, that means I should be a leader. That's not true. You have to learn leadership skill because the skill on the field is not the skill you use to train people to go to the field. And right now, what you have done, you need to replicate it in people. You're a team leader, you're supposed to multiply your skill. So leadership training, strategic planning, team management is key. And for you to do any of these things, you need data. You need data a lot. You need to pay attention to numbers. What are your numbers? What are your conversion rates, your disbursement rate, your average loan size, average performance of your team members? All those things you need data. You need to learn your numbers. Now, when you now go to the C-suite, that means you achieve something, chief operating, chief marketing, chief this, chief that, chief that. That means you're now in C-suite. You should think about stakeholder management. At that point, you are not disbursing, you are managing people that disburse. So you are managing people that is growing the whole organization. You're not just thinking about disbursement, you're thinking about cash, you're thinking about operations, you're thinking about CBN, you're thinking about the board members, you're thinking about every stakeholder, customer, every stakeholder. Now you have to think about it. What does the government want? Because your landlord, everything is now your business. Everything, there's nothing like I'm only disposing. It is now your personal business. So you need to learn stakeholder management, crisis management, because when there's problem, everybody's looking to you. So you must be able to crisis management. Something happened. What can we do? Before you start looking for what you're doing, your first thought will be, how do I remedy the situation? And then I cannot come and blame somebody later. But the first thing is remedy the situation first. Then advanced business analysis, you need to learn this because you need to know the environment, what are the changes in, what are the shifts in customer demands, what are the shifts in the environment, or what are the shifts in the economy around you that will determine your customers' performance, your portfolio performance, the demand of regulators from you. You need to be able to do this analysis. Okay, so these are the career skills that you need. They need me. These are the career skills that you need. Sorry, I was going to get a hold of, so I'm still with you.
No,
So now to the next slide. I said you have to move from job holder to value creator. You cannot just be thinking job. You have to think value. What am I bringing to the table? So this current role that you have you mastered it? See, I'm telling you the truth that there are skills I'm using now that I learned on the field. If you master the street, there's a course I'm now winning the street. There are some things that you won't be able to manage stakeholders until you have mastered the street. You see, you going into the field is a blessing. It's a skill that you still use as you grow in your career. There are things that doesn't concern me today, they bring to my table because they know that I know the street. I know what the street demands. How will you know that you have not gone to the street? As a branch managing director, I was entering my 12th. You have to be hands-on. This role that you are in right now, that you say, this is my role, I don't like it, I want to grow. Have you even mastered it? Have you mastered the role? There are things in that role that you should be able to have done before. Because when I'm employing you to be head of commercial, I assume that you have managed portfolio for yourself, you have managed portfolio for your group, then you can be head of commercial. Now imagine that you have shied away from all those things and you want to jump there. Master your current role. Don't see it as a bad place. No, it's a journey, it's not sprint, it's a marathon. So master your current role. Then develop cross-functional knowledge. See, when all you know, all the things you know is all you know, you will remain there. No, not because you will remain there. You need to develop cross-functional knowledge, which means right now, if you find yourself in operation, you should be able to wing it. If you find yourself in IT, you should be able to wing it. That's what it means. Develop cross-functional knowledge. Know what is happening in other departments. Don't just sit there and say, all you know is I'm disbursing loan. All you know is my team, my group, all my group members are performing. What is happening about cash? What is happening about budget? How are all these things happen? What about staff training? What's happening in HR? What's our recruitment practices? What are our policies about this? Be aware. Be aware. Develop cross-functional knowledge. Know what's happening in other places, because the thing is this, you don't know where you find yourself tomorrow. You don't know where you will find yourself tomorrow, where those knowledge will be needed. Okay. Then, lastly, in being a value creator, is that you have to build a reputation for reliability, which means they can depend on you. Your group leader, your MD, the board, they should be able to depend on you. Can people depend on you? Are you reliable? Or when you go and get stuff, you just carry your bag and run. Are you reliable? That's how to be a value creator. So your growth is not just about the promoting and promoting, but it is value creator. Okay. All right. Now let's look at roles you need to grow. Hello. Hello. She's the one that is waiting for approval from Bass. Yes. Are you done with the doctor?
Yes.
What did the doctor answer?
He said that I should. No, the doctor is just referring me.
I did refer you.
Yes.
So
So what are you saying? Cardiac,
yes, yeah, all right. So the skills that you need to grow to the point of an advanced practitioner. You need system thinking. I just mentioned you being aware. It means you have to know what's going on around you, what's happening. It means understanding how every unit of operation, finance, risk, institutional goal, everything. You have to think system. You cannot longer think one department or one function. Then your problem solving skill must be at peak, because every problem is just to solve now. So you have to be able to solve problems. When they are calling you in the middle of the night to say, this is happening. No, I mentioned crisis management. This is where your problem solving skill. You must be able to solve problem. And when I say problem solving, I mean solve a problem from beginning to the end. Another one is effective communication. As you grow into being an advanced practitioner, you're going to be dealing with a lot of people. So if you don't have good communication skill, emotional intelligence, you will keep having issues with people, because there's a different way to talk to people. I told somebody that in Lagos, there are different good morning. How far is good morning? So one thing, good morning. At the end of the day, you need to know how to talk to everybody that you meet. Another one is numbers are your key. Anyone who speaks numbers owns the room. If you go for board meeting and you are saying, we did well last year, you haven't said anything. But if you go there and say, we increased by 20%, everybody is listening to you. So the one who knows numbers owns the room. Data analysis is key. You need to know, you cannot enter a room without numbers. There must be numbers. Okay? So data is key. Innovation. The way you did it last year is not the way you will do it this year. You have to keep thinking of what are the new ways that can achieve this goal. Then financial and risk intelligence. You need to know about finance generally and risk, not just about your particular department. You need to know more. You need a nationwide economy wide understanding, which means you understand what is happening in Iran right now. Because some of us think it's not affecting us. Now there's no fuel. So you need to have that kind of overall knowledge. Then finally, I'm talking about agile decision making. You cannot be waiting. You have to take a decision like, I see somebody is sneezing. That's how you take decision. Yeah, there's no time to wait. Sometimes there's not just time to wait. You just have to, like at the snap of your finger, take a decision. Yeah, a practitioner, everybody's coming to ask you for questions. You're there waiting for who will help you take a decision. No. As a matter of fact, agile decision making is the reason they are coming to meet you, because they don't know the decision to make. You should be able to look at two impossible choices and pick the best out of the impossible choices. Okay? So agile decision making. So I said for career advancement, you must develop the mind of a strategist, discipline of a financier, influence of a leader, the voice of a communicator, and the character of a trusted professional. Now, finally, before Henry takes over to talk about the rest, You can grow your career in 3 simple steps. First of all, self-assessment. Where you are right now, assess yourself. Do SWOT analysis. What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What is required of me? So what skill do I need to learn? You need to do self-assessment. There's skill development. Henry has been taking us through, and he will further take us through different skills that you can learn with Leon Consulting and its partners. You can learn a lot of skills that will help you advance easily and quickly. Then I added visibility, because sometimes what you have learned, you need to volunteer to do it. The best way to learn is when you are put into practice. So volunteer. Everything is not about money. They say somebody is going on leave, you are going to work. They say, are they adding to my money? Everything is not about money. Some of those opportunities you volunteer are what strengthens what you have learned. So you have learned this skill and you have never used it. No, volunteer to use it somewhere. Everything is not about money. Then you'll be able to grow your career. Now, the next slide is learning curriculum, which Henry will take over from here. If you have any question, I'll need you to leave it. Henry can send it to me via WhatsApp. I can answer them later. But for now, I need to take off. This is all I can do. Please, apologies. He will leave you any communication you want to have with me, just leave it with Henry. He will pass it across. Thank you very much, all. And it's been nice talking to you, even if that's the one way. Apologies. All right. So,
Thank you very
I
much,
need
ma'am.
to
Sorry,
leave.
Dayo, I have
Okay.
a question
Madam
for you
Dai,
before you leave. Oh.
she's begging you already
I
that she
didn't
wants to leave. He says he
I
wants,
know
he
she's
wants you
at
to
it.
answer this question
Dayo, I
before you leave.
understand you are in an emergency, but I would like to share your view on something because you talked about data and analytics. So I want to know your
Okay.
views because being a veteran in the industry, in the AB you talked about, I'm an 8th generation in AB loan officer. So now this data and where do you see AI? This artificial intelligence thing that's doing homework for our children, that is taking over our jobs. Where do you see AI in this microfinance thing? I would like you to just share your view on AI and what we do and the efficiency in the microfinance. Sorry for
I
taking
don't
your
have
time.
time. I would have asked you to type this question into ChatGPT so you can get the answer. AI is to enable you, not to take over from you. That's why you still need to type prompt before you get response. You are the one that will give you prompt now, and it will give you response. So there's no AI is not taking your job. All this AI is taking our job. I don't tire. What are you doing? You are a loan officer, and AI wants to take your job. Whereas the women in my club don't even know how to use Android, and AI want to take your job. Please, what's the job AI want to take? Your own is not one of them. But what I want to say about data, leave AI. AI is doing what it's supposed to do. And if your children are using ChatGPT to do homework, it's because they are smarter than you. If you had ChatGPT in your time and you didn't use it to do homework, then you are the problem. Let them use ChatGPT to do their homework. The fact that they can do that is also a learning on its own. Stop crippling their knowledge because you don't know ChatGPT. Let them do it. Let them, go wild and learn what their mates are learning. When I mention data for you, right, is that on your job, there are numbers you should work with. If I meet you at any time, you should be able to tell me your portfolio at risk, your growth rate, your average loan size, your best performing, top 5 performing customers, top 5 high volume value customers. Know your numbers. Okay, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying leave AI. AI is not going to Ikeja or Apapa to go and disburse loan. No. AI still need you to do all those things. Okay. So I'm sorry. I know you all have questions, but I have to get off.
Yeah, I'm
Thank you very
enlightening.
much,
I
Henry.
just want
Thank
you
you
to
all.
teach people some things
All
they
right
need to
then.
know.
Bye. Sorry, I need to leave. I'm sorry. Apologies for that.
Mr. Amin. All right, Mr. Amin, are you there? Are you ready for us?
Yes, I'm here.
All right,
I'm
you can share
sorry.
your screen. And the floor is yours.
My name is Amin Ajibola. Thanks so much for your time. I started working in microfinance not long ago. I'm very young in the industry. I started in 2013 with AB Microfinance Bank, and thanks to AB Microfinance Bank, that's where I got that's the industry that's the bank that gives one of the best credit training in the world. I can say that anywhere. So and then I worked briefly with Stanbic IBTC. Then I went back to microfinance with Finca Microfinance Bank. So I give it shout out to Finca too. They are like, in terms of impact, they are one of the best microfinance bank I work with in terms of impact. They are very particular about impact. They are one of the first that started micro insurance for their loans, and it really helped. We had a lot of customers that died with AB Microfinance Bank. When I was with them, then when the customer died, the loan continues. We chase dead people for loan, but with Finca Microfinance Bank, when the customer dies, the insurance cover the loans at that time. And in fact, some customers even got some money. They got some insurance for burial and for their dependents. So then from Finca, I got a job with Kiva Microfinance Bank. Kiva Microfund is in the US, so I worked briefly in Uganda and Kenya. So that's actually what changed my perspective about microfinance. That's when I know what I'm carrying. So I would just like to start with that note. With people in microfinance, we don't know what we are carrying. It's like it's like you have something you don't know the value. So working with Kiva in the US, in Uganda and Kenya, it exposes me to a lot. It helped me to know the value of what I'm carrying. So I've interviewed with a lot of biggest company in the world, biggest bank in the world, and the only thing that interests them when I'm talking is microfinance. So we are especially people who started very early, even the new ones. Nigeria is a unique economy. Nigeria is one of the few economies that has, like, I would say 90% MSMEs, micro, small, and medium enterprises. Like in the US, for example, everything is capitalized. I can't even remember the last time I bought from a small business. We always buy from, if you want to buy anything, you buy from Walmart, you buy from big businesses, from companies. But for Nigeria, it's different. Most of us, we buy from Ogunpa, we buy from Gbagi, we buy from Idumota, we buy from Oshodi. So there is huge, oh my God. In fact, is the stigma, if not the stigma that was attached to microfinance before, we will know our value, because everybody's going to microfinance now. Paystack just started their microfinance. There is also a fintech. It's called Sabi. They do procurement. They are into microfinance now. So they see that everywhere they go, they see that there is huge market. There's huge opportunity in the industry. So on that note, I will start. I'm not a slide person, but I will just try to brush through the slide. So the business of the day is microfinance skills, enhancement, and career pathways. So so this is why microfinance is very important. So if for me, I would say every graduate, not every graduate, that's exaggeration. A young graduate should start their career in microfinance, even if it's just 1 year. It will shape your career. And no matter the industry you are going later after microfinance, you will have valuable transferable skills to transfer to the industry. So currently I work with I work with State Street Bank. I'm not in microfinance anymore, but I'm a microfinance entity. If you go to my LinkedIn profile, the first thing you will see in capital letter is microfinance. So I bring a lot of skills from my microfinance days. So one of the very important skills we do, custody business is like we are the one that, for example, if GT Bank is buying stocks or fixed income or bonds from Zenith Bank, we are the one that we facilitate all the process between trade booking and settlement. So one of the very important microfinance keys I brought from my microfinance day is repayment monitoring. So now I'm like, even when I started the job very young, my current job very fresh, there is one skill that everybody sees that they don't understand how I got that skills, and it's the way I monitor counterparties. I chase in fact, that's the word we use. I remember when we were in AB, we use chase arrears. So we use the same word in custody business. We chase counterparties. So the way I chase counterparties is the same way I was chasing my repayments. So That's a very important skill, and it has helped me a lot. In fact, I've instilled that skill in some of my colleagues, because I will call you anytime. I will be calling you until you do what I want. So microfinance is very important. The first exposure to grassroots economic activity and MSME financing. Like when I remember when I was disbursing, you will know about every business. You will know what small businesses are facing. You will know the prices. Like some people will ask me, how much is this? They will say, how did you know? I know because I have clients in that industry. So you get reward credit assessment and borrower behavior analysis. So I work with Stanbic briefly. My loan experience also helped me. In fact, when I was with Stanbic IBTC, my first month, like 2 months in the industry, I was one of the highest. My branch was one of the highest disbursal of loans. In fact, I grew the loan portfolio by more than 200% because they were not concentrating on loans. So you can see the advantage of. I can't talk about this enough. I'm telling you, you have to know what you carry. So and I know we still get to that. I and Henry, we have worked with a lot of international companies, and we have made a lot of. Don't let me expose Henry. We have made a lot of impact, maybe not so much money, from consulting with a lot of international companies from US, from UK, from Europe. They want to get into microfinance. In fact, they are so interested in Nigeria. And the good, the bad, the not. The, I don't know if it's good or bad. The good thing about Nigeria is it's not easy for anyone to get into our industry. Our terrain is not easy to navigate. So after working with Kiva, I was in the US. They sent me an email in 2019 that they want to go to Nigeria, but they need someone. So unfortunately, before I could reach out to my network, they have already gotten someone. But for you to know, in Kenya and Uganda, it's easy to navigate. Like they made it easy. It has its advantage and disadvantage, but Nigeria is not easy to navigate. So a lot of companies, individuals are interested in. They know there is a lot of money there, and there is also a lot of impact. So it's the most important thing is positioning yourself so you can use your experience to the highest utility. So you get reward credit assessment and borrower behavior analysis. Microfinance lets you understand people. I'm telling you, I can't say that more. I can't emphasize it enough. It helps you know people. So and you get experience managing loan portfolios. That's basic. You have strong foundation for careers in banking, fintech, and development finance. So this is very important. That's the best foundation. I was saying AB, it gave me a very good foundation. So now fintech, they are the one. I heard they are the one paying. They are the one paying much the better salary now because they have money, they have flexibility, but they need us. They need people that has traditional microfinance experience and also development finance. So there is a thin line between moving from microfinance professional to impact finance, development finance. That's the global view. Impact finance, development finance, financial inclusion. That's the global term they are using now. So there's a thin line. Positioning yourself in that to be in that echelon is very important, and we are going to be talking about it more. So these are the core and advanced skills for microfinance professionals. Credit analysis and loan underwriting, we already know that. Cash flow based lending assessments, very important. Cash is king. So portfolio monitoring and delinquency management. So most of us, I remember when we were as a loan officer, we always say we are the loan officer, we are the salesperson, we are the recovery manager. So it taught us a lot of skills. Digital lending platform and fintech credit system. So to be sincere, I will try my best to let us to open our eyes if it's not already open to getting from just loans, just disbursing loans and putting yourself at the top of the industry. So digital lending platform and fintech credit system. So you can see I want to word this very well so I don't offend anyone. So a lot of our colleagues, in fact, one of our colleagues founded a global digital YC funded company. I will not mention his name, but the most important thing that helped him is being foresighted, learning IT skills, some of these things are just tiny things that will make a difference. So a lot of them are funded companies, funded fintech companies, and it's not basic grassroots lending they are doing. They are doing global digital lending, and we will talk about the differences later in this slide. So this is also a very important point. These are one of the core skills: impact measurement and development finance metrics. So when I was with Kiva, that's my first time knowing about impact measurement. So if you know me, I'm an apostle of impact. I'm an impact apostle. I talk about impact all the time. It is a thing to lend, to be giving people access to financial services. Another thing is impact. What kind of impact are we making? So impact and finance metrics is like a feed on itself in microfinance. How do we measure the impact? So we measure the impact by standard of living. How much have we affected the standard of living? So separating the business and the person. So apart from helping the businesses, have we helped the family? So for example, this might not be a good example, but that's what comes to my mind currently. For example, when you gave the loan to the customer might be driving a Toyota Camry 2015. So if the customer is coming back with 2005 Toyota Camry, that's a sign that you have had a negative impact on the customer. So if the customer is coming back with 2025 Toyota Camry, might not be a direct indication, but at least you will know that you are having a good impact on the customer. So this is very important. Mama Dia has talked a lot about this. I will just brush through it. So going from what word should I use? Going from I don't want to use traditional. Traditional is good. Going from basic credit analyst to global credit analyst. This what makes the difference. This was one of the important factors that makes the difference. Learning IT skills. So I think 2 years ago, a colleague, in fact, a senior colleague from AB is in the UK now. He's trying to break into UK credit analyst industry. So these are one of the things we discussed. So he called me just to help prepare for the interview, brush mine together. So these are one of the core skills. So in modern credit, Excel is good. Excel is king, and knowing the basic calculation, using calculator is very good. It's still very important rudimentary skill, but the digital skills, the credit skills, is what makes the difference. And some of these things you don't need to be a guru at it, like Python, SQL, R, Excel VBA, Power BI. You just need to know what they call the program structure. So for example, for SQL now, it selects where from. So you just need to know a basic from intermediate. Like for Python, know what the dictionary is, know what the parameters are. Just basic. There are a lot of free courses you can take that you will be granted in this. These are very important. This can take you from, it can take you from, don't let me use any value. It can take you from 50% to 250% in terms of salary and CADA. So Python, very important. So most of these things, most of the companies using them, you don't need to, they will not be asking you to be writing program. They already have the program, but the ability to understand the program, to debug it when there is problem is what you need. So that's why you need basic to intermediate knowledge of these programs. So common credit infrastructure tools in Nigeria. So everybody knows this. We don't need to be talking about this, but we just need to talk about automation and AI. So that's why you need to be grounded. You have to stay informed. So when they are talking about it, you know about it. So you don't run away from change. Don't run away from AI. Don't discuss. AI will help you. Like Mama, this AI will not take your job. It will help you do your job. So you have to be tech-minded. You have to be tech-savvy. That's what will take you from grassroots microfinance to global microfinance professional. So I will just brush through this quickly. 5-year pathway. This is not fixed. This is flexible. This is subjective. So this is a 5-year pathway for a micro loan officer to fintech credit experts. So this is a very important. That's where the money is now. Fintech credit risk expert. Credit risk. The risk is very important. So year one, this not, like I said before, this is not fixed. This is flexible. Credit analysis and borrower assessment. That's where we all started from. So I will just the second one, financial statement analysis and portfolio metrics. You have to understand this very well. Data driven. That's the stage. That's a very important stage. Data driven credit analysis. So everything is data now. In fact, in 2013, I tried to transition to cybersecurity. So I'm not doing cybersecurity now, but some of the skills I learned, like SQL, Python, SAS, R, is helping me in my current career. So now that you don't need to be a data analyst, any career you are, you need to have data analysis is a new computer. It's like those days that some people that are not computer literate, they will struggle. So data analysis is a new language. So someone said by maybe like next 10 years, if you don't know data analysis, you'll be like a stark illiterate. Like you will not understand what people are. You'll be like someone that just can't speak, that can only speak Yoruba, for example, and he's in an environment where they are speaking English. You will not understand what they are saying. So that's where data is going. So for automated underwriting and digital analysis, we are getting that too. A lot of people are doing automated. And we try to help a company in 2022? Yeah, 2023. We are helping them develop like an automated credit scoring model. So automated lending, they still need people that understand microfinance to build this. Like Mamadi was saying, AI will not build itself. They still need us to feed it the right questions, the right prompts. But being aware, being informed of these things is very important. So year 5, credit risk leadership and predictive default modeling. So yes, we were even working on the predictive default modeling. We were trying to use what they call psychometric tests to check willingness and unwillingness to pay loan. So these last 3 years are very important. So that's when you go for interviews. These things you can't be an expert in all this automation, AI, but being able to speak about it, being able to speak the lingo, the language is what makes the difference. In 2018, that's when I started looking for international jobs. So that's when I realized I got an hint that I'm carrying gold. Microfinance experience is gold, is premium. So because when I moved to Stanbic, I thought I upgraded. I upgraded actually in terms of everything, but it's not an upgrade. Going from microfinance to commercial bank is not really an upgrade. So you have to know the value of what you are carrying. We are the bedrock of the nation. In fact, I always say it. If you follow my articles, my LinkedIn posts, Nigeria can solve the economic problem we are having in terms of power and everything through microfinance. When I was in Ghana in 2000, sorry, I keep talking about Ghana, in 2018, there is a place called Luwero. The whole place is solar. There is a guy from Senegal. He's the one collecting all the utility bill there. He powered all the community with solar. A whole community, more than 50,000 people. They are not even connected to the national grid. He powered it with solar and is collecting his bill. So you can see how microfinance, he got the funding through microfinance. He's a microfinance professional. So that's why we have to open our mind. Lending is good. Lending is bedrock of microfinance, but not just lending. What about energy? What about any other thing? What about micro health? What about micro pension? So that's why we have to this is the mindset. It's nothing special. It's being informed. Do you know? So this particular one, the first one is where I got the Kiva job. So and you have to be persistent. You will not apply for one job and give up did not call me. You have to be persistent, keep applying. So I will share the link later. I can send it to Henry. Henry can share it with the group. So that's the end of my presentation. If you have anything I've not touched, you want me to talk about, I'm happy to do that. So, like someone said, one of my brother that's working closely with AI, he said AI. Sorry, I don't want to offend anyone. He said AI will make the dumb people dumber and the smart people smarter. So AI will complement. And if you know, there are a lot of AI does not know anything. That's what people don't know. AI is what you feed into AI that AI will feed out. There are a lot of data annotation company that needs experts. In fact, some of them they are paying some of them are paying up to $40, $50 per hour. They need experts in that industry to train the AI. So AI is dumb. AI does not know anything, but AI will make a dumb person dumber and a smart person smarter. And in terms of the shift from traditional credit to digital automated credit scoring, in fact, is long overdue because I don't know how we are going to do it. I'm not so informed about credit scoring, credit reporting in Nigeria. But in the US, there is what we call FICO scoring. So with FICO scoring, is centralized, like and it's not, in Nigeria they do credit scoring, but as far as I can remember, they mostly report the negative reporting, like if you are owing. But with credit scoring, the automated credit scoring we should be doing, they should be reporting both positive and negative reporting. Like if you are paying your loan monthly, updated reporting. So I know we are going to get to that, but I believe it's long overdue. That's why there is a lot of opportunity for people that knows their honor in the industry. They need you. Some of them, they just need you. When we were working with Armand, we are not doing anything for them. I dedicated less than 2 hours to their job. They just need people that knows this thing. They don't need you to do any coding or anything. They don't know. You will not believe they don't know. It's you that know. And it's what you tell them they will believe. So talking about automation, AI, credit scoring, it needs people that knows traditional lending, that know traditional credit behavior. So, for example, when I was lending in Lagos, it's different from when I was lending in Ibadan. In Lagos, people don't want you to come to their shop to shout. But if you go to people's house or Ibadan, if in Lagos, once you threaten them that you will come to their house or their shop, oh my God, that's the prayer point. But if they born you well, go to Ibadan and go and shout, they will not pay that loan again. That's the end. They will even beat you. I have a colleague that went to shout, they beat the colleague. The neighbor will join to beat you. That is Nigeria not owing? What's the big deal there? So understanding traditional behavior, grassroots behavior is key. In fact, that's what we contributed mostly to Almonds. Oh no, you can't do this. People will not. That's the advice we were giving them. So AI and traditional credit scoring, it helps each other. That's it. It complements each other. It cannot completely replace. Not at least not now. So, like for example, in the US is a good example of merging technology and traditional ways of doing things. In the US, the most reliable way of sending information still remains the post office. They use the post office every day. When you are in the US, I don't know about the UK, you get letters every day. So you can see the way they are still using check in the US. They still write check every day. So you have to, even when you are moving forward with technology, you have to still keep your traditional way of doing things, because when hackers come in or when technology fail, the traditional way of doing things will help you to recover. So that's my submission. Final note is like to be sincere, there is we that we are in the microfinance industry, we should speak up. Like I know it's important to make money. We are in the business to make money, but at the same time, if you continue to do things business as usual and continue making money, before we know it, we will not have any customers anymore. So like Yoruba people will say, sorry, I'm speaking Yoruba. Ekpan para re, o so pe won paja. So if you continue for a parasite, if a parasite is eating the dog and want the dog to die, in the end, the dog will die, the parasite will die with the dog. So we should, as much as possible, as we are trying to like get our employers much more money, we should also speak up about impact. So we should, in fact, when I was with AB, I discovered something. That I will give a perfect example. That time, if you take a loan of 100,000 naira, you'll be paying a total of 120,000 naira as at that time. So I discovered that once people stop paying, once they pay the principal, they don't want to pay the interest again. I'm not in any way saying the interest is too much, but you will see that if people believe they get a fair deal, I'm telling you, as much as you will say Nigerian people, they don't like paying, if people believe they get a fair deal, they will pay. And a lot of customers that the loan really help their business, you will see that you will not stress for them to pay back. So as much as credit analysis, credit monitoring, recovery is very important, giving people fair conditions, giving borrowers fair conditions, fair repayment terms, fair loan conditions is also very important. It also helps in paying the loan. And on that note, I would say that's why we have to spend. I don't know if anybody, I don't have the financial capacity to champion that. Working on a personal personal identification of infrastructure, like something like FICO, is the most important thing in credit. That's what everybody. What Amon FinTech was working on is most important thing now. Having like a credit scoring model that is very fair and updated, that will change the game. In the US and most advanced countries, they don't chase people to pay their loan. The highest they do is they will call. And maybe if it's a bigger money, they can. But once they put it on your credit, once your credit is that bad in the US, just pack your load. If you're an immigrant, if your credit is not good, just go home. You cannot do anything. Your insurance will go up. You cannot get a house. You cannot do anything once your credit is bad. That's the major factor that will help people to pay loan back. Not going to their house. No, self-help is good. I'm not against self-help. Like pursuing arrears, doing recovery, but getting a personal identity infrastructure is the most important thing for us right now. That's the next level we should be talking about, and that will help. That will even reduce the interest rates, because when the interest is too much, to be sincere, it's an unfortunate issue to talk about. You will see that the customer business is not growing. A lot of us will go to a customer for a second loan. You will obviously see that the business has gone down because the customer is not paying from the profit; they are paying from their capital. So, very important. To wrap it up, we should think about impact. When you think microfinance, think impact, because the impact is like the bottom line. Thank you so much. So you see, people are not bad. People are not generally bad. People will be bad if you allow them to be bad. You can see Nigerians are the most law-abiding when they move to advanced country. Nigerians, a lot of Nigerians, they get in less trouble. So you will see it's the system. Like if you say that people will not, system will make people pay. So there is a system. Like the global standing order they started about I don't know how effective it is. That's a good idea. So and it should extend credit. Credit is the solution. Like our president said in one of his speeches. I don't know. I don't know if he just said that for campaign's sake. Credit is the solution to everything. I'm telling you. Like nobody should be in Nigeria, especially Nigeria of today. Nobody should be building house with their own money. Why will you be building house with your own money? Will you carry the house to everywhere you die? It's not your house. It's government house. So you should build a house. People should be able to build a house with credit. Nobody should be working. I don't even know if any average person can even build a house in Lagos nowadays. So credit is the solution to everything. So when people know credit is the solution to everything, they know if your credit history is bad, you cannot do anything. Especially, for example, in the US, you cannot even, it's worse that you cannot even like you can't rent a house, not buy a house. You can't rent a house if your credit is bad. So we should that should be our goal now. And to be sincere, we might not have the money, but we are close to people that have money. We can drive the movement, like getting updated credit history, working credit history, not just I remember there is First Credit, First Central Credit, and all those credit bureaus. I know most of them they are not accurate. I don't know for now, but when I was there, they are not accurate. But you should be a credit score. There should be credit scoring. You have 650, you have 500, you have 200. You will know your credit is bad. So and someone that has 200 should not get the same interest as someone that has 500. So the interest rate, we will argue that interest is too high. And I don't blame the lenders, it's the risk, high return. But if we have credit, that's the goal. If you want to stay in business, we don't just want to make money for a while. If you want to make a customer, make a lifetime money, we have to work on that. That's where everybody, if you have an idea, that's like the next level, building a credit scoring system that capture all the credit history, and it will give score and it will determine the interest. Very important. There should be a good connection with credit score and interest. You can't be giving same interest to everyone. So the risk it will measure the interest. So that's my submission.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. The Microfinance Skill and Career Enhancement Program is a specialized online webinar designed to equip every participant with practical knowledge, industry skill relevant to your career, and insight required to succeed. It's all to make you evolve in the microfinance and the financial sector and the financial subsector. What are we focusing on? Gap between theory and the real world, because you will read something else, but you might be seeing it differently in the practical world. And all we want to do is to expose personnel to core microfinance operations, so that you understand ethical lending principles, you understand client relationship management, you understand relationship management, regulatory awareness, so that you will be able to sustain your financial knowledge in the industry.